G'day everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. So with the AFL draft month finally here, we're going to be kicking off some more draft content on the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be going over the 10 biggest AFL draft steals since 2000. I made a video back at the start of the year going over the 10 biggest draft busts since 2000, so today I'm going to be doing the exact opposite. Quickly, the criteria for this selection today is that, quite simply, a player must be selected outside of the top 40, and also a player cannot be drafted by the father-son rule, so this excludes the likes of Gary Ablett and Tom Hawkins. So with the criteria out of the way, if you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'll be much appreciated, and let's get into the top 10 list. Rightio, so we kick off today's video in 10th place, and I've gone with 𝐬𝐿 𝗏𝗏 from the West Coast Eagles. We kick off the video today with the former West Coast midfielder of 𝐬𝐿 𝗏𝗏, well known for taking home the 2014 Brownlow medal. Taken 31st overall in the 2005 rookie draft, he would debut and play a few games in 2006 but would not be part of the premiership squad that year. 𝗏𝗏 became a main starter from 2007 and never looked back. He would become a main staple in West Coast midfield after Cousins and Judd's departure in 2008 and 9 and would gain the recognition as one of the competition's elite inside midfielders. A highly consistent footballer that would rack up tackles and possessions, 𝗏𝐿 owns the record for the most career individual tackles of all time with 1,629, alongside a Brownlow medal in 2014 and a runner-up the following year. In 9th place, I've gone with Dylan Grimes. After going undrafted in 2009, he was given the opportunity to train with Richmond and received an AFL contract through the 2010 preseason draft. Grimes would spend his first year at the Tigers mainly playing reserves footy and would debut in the later stages of the season. Year by year, he would mould himself into a true clubman and a key member in the side's defensive unit. Grimes would hit his prime in 2017, being part of a drought-breaking premiership side, also being one of the most consistent defenders in the competition. He would continue this form over the years, picking up 2 more flags and being part of the All-Australian side and the Players Association Most Courageous Player Award recipient in 2019. So when looking back, it is a slow burn selection in this video today, but all the wait was worth it as Grimes would be a vital part in Richmond's dynasty. Moving on now to 8th place, and I've gone with Tom Stewart. From being a carpenter playing semi-pro footy on weekends to becoming a full-time All-Australian defender, Stewart is a definite inclusion on today's list. Picked up by the Cats from pick 40 in the 2016 AFL draft as a mature age player, Stewart would become an instant impact. Already becoming a starter in his debut season, 2018 would however be his breakout year, becoming one of the AFL's best lockdown defenders. With the ability to play on tall and small players and a tremendous skill to intercept and read the play, he would take home the Coaches Association Young Player of the Year award alongside 4 All-Australian selections and a Geelong Best and Fairest award and a flag in the next 4 years. He's one of the quickest AFL players ever to receive 4 All-Australian blazers, and at 29 he still has time for more. Not bad at all for a pick 40. In 7th place for my biggest AFL draft steal, I've gone with Brian Lake. A great footballer, but not so great boundary commentator. A young skinny key back from South Australia would be taken at pick 71 by the Bulldogs in the 2001 draft. As expected, his first few seasons for 𝗏𝐿𝐿 would be development years, as he would bulk up. 2007 would be his breakout year, with being able to lock down some of the elite forwards and taking home the Bulldogs Best and Fairest award in the process. Lake would be a part of the All-Australian side in 2009 and 10, becoming one of the comp's best one-on-one defenders. Being in their premiership window, Hawthorn decided to trade over Lake and bring in more defensive stability to the side. It turned out to be a class move, as Lake would be a part of a Hawks dynasty and be a key part of it. On top of that, the 3-time premiership fullback would go on to win the 2013 Norm Smith medal. One of the most complete fullbacks of the 21st century that all started from a 6th round pick back in 2001. Moving on now to 6th place, and I've gone with Jeremy McGovern. The old saying of never judge a book by its cover certainly applies to Jeremy McGovern, a stocky and unathletic looking frame who turned out to be one of the most athletic and best intercepting defenders of the 21st century. Taken at pick 44 in the 2010 rookie draft, McGovern would have to earn back the coach's trust and get his AFL career back on track after turning up to preseason trading overweight in 2013. He would finally make his senior debut in early 2014, starting his career off as a swingman. Because of the Eagles' injuries in 2015, McGovern would be thrown in as a key defender and would excel at this position, emerging as one of the best intercept markers in the game. His form will continue the following year. Entering his prime, Jeremy would be awarded with his first All-Australian blazer, followed by another 3 in 3 years. Breaking intercept mark records left and right, he would be a main part in the 2018 Premiership side, most notably known for forcing a turnover and starting the famous end-to-end transition, resulting in a 𝐼𝐻𝐿 winning goal. Moving on now to the top 5, and in 5th place I've got Robbie Gray. Arguably one of the best AFL players to ever play in a Port Adelaide Guernsey, Robbie Gray enjoyed a heavily illustrious career, retiring from footy at the end of this season. Taking a pick 55 in the 2006 draft, he would go on to play 5 games in his debut season, before becoming a main starter in the side. Over the next few years, injuries piled on, from soft tissue troubles to a knee reconstruction in 2012, restricting him to just 2 games that year. 2014 would be his redemption season, as he became one of the competition's premier forward midfielders, kicking 42 goals and leading the league in goal assists, being awarded the Coaches Association Player of the Year award. His prime will continue on over the years, winning Port Adelaide's Best and Fairest award 3 years in a row, and being in the All-Australian side 4 times in 5 years. A terrific clubman and a clutch master, being one of your club's best ever players isn't a bad achievement at all for a pick 55. Moving on now into 4th place, and I've gone with Lachie Neale. Even though Neale's prime would start to unfurl at his second club of Brisbane, it's almost impossible not to include him on this list today. Nevertheless, Neale still manufactured a productive stint at his original club of Fremantle, which took the small midfielder at pick 58 in the 2011 draft. Impressing right from the get-go, Neale debuted early on in round 4 of the 2012 season. His game would gradually improve season after season, averaging high numbers and impact on the side, being awarded Freo's Best and Fairest award in 2016 and 2018. Neale would request a trade to the Lions in the 2018 trade period, and his career would turn the corner in 12 months, joining a winning side with an All-Australian selection and a Lions Best and Fairest award under his belt. Followed by a career best season with the treble, winning a Brownlow medal, the Leigh Matthews Trophy, and a Coaches Association Player of the Year award, Neale would now be widely regarded as the competition's elite inside midfielder. Now at the verge of entering into his 30s, 𝐼𝐶𝐞 still has some of his best left in the tank, with perhaps another Brownlow season or Premiership glory around the corner. Now into the top 3, and it's hard to separate a number of these players, but in 3rd place, I've gone with Aaron Sandilands. Not only one of the tallest players to play AFL football, but also terrific at his profession, widely respected as one of the best ruckmen of the AFL era. Sandilands was taken in the 2001 rookie draft at pick 33. Drafted as a project player, Aaron played his first year in the reserves before being promoted to the senior list in 2003. Sandilands impressed in his first few seasons, ranking top 6 in hitouts for each of those years. 2006 would be his breakout year, averaging the most hitouts. Eventually he'd be rewarded his first All-Australian blazer in 2008 and would collect 2 more in the following 2 years, alongside Freo's Best and Fairest award in 2009. In 2010, he'd poll a team-high 20 Brownlow votes, a terrific achievement for a ruckman. Sandilands would hang up the boots in 2019, after a remarkable career for the Dockers, well regarded as one of the best tap-out ruckmen in the 21st century. Now moving on into 2nd place, and for number 2, I've gone with Eddie Betts. Widely regarded as one of the best small forwards of all time, the majority of the average AFL fan or even Adelaide or Carlton supporter would not realise that Betts was overlooked in his draft year. Carlton would eventually take the punt on the exciting small forward in the pre-season draft. Betts' services would instantly come to fruition right from the get-go, making his debut in round 1 of 2005. Eddie's stock was boosted after kicking an insane banana goal of the year in 2006, whilst gradually improving his goal count, leading Carlton's goal kicking in 2010 and 2012. Betts became a restricted free agent at the end of 2013 and decided to move on to Adelaide, as he would instantly become a hit. His time at the Crows was absolutely special, leading their goal kicking for 4 seasons in a row, being an All-Australian for 3 years in a row, and of course slotting home jaw-dropping goals left, right and centre from either pocket, collecting 3 Goal of the Year awards. He decided to finish his career off where it started at Carlton for 2 seasons, and there would cap off an amazing bums on seats player. And now for 1st place, my biggest AFL draft steal since 2000, I've gone with no other than Dane Swan. To top off our list, it couldn't be anyone else than Dane Swan. Swanee was picked up by the Pies in the famous 2001 Super Draft at pick 58. It certainly was a slow start to his career, failing to get a game in his first season at the club and only managing 3 games in 2003 and 30 games in 4 seasons. He would slowly rise up the pecking order in 2006, playing 21 games and finishing 6th in the best and fairest that year. His upward trajectory continued, having his breakout year in 2007, finishing 6th in the Brownlow and also emerging as a dangerous goal-kicking midfielder. Entering his prime in 2008, he would collect the Pies Best and Fairest award 3 years in a row and would become the competition's elite damaging footballer. 2010 was a special year and arguably one of the best seasons out of any individual player, winning the flag with the Pies, picking up the CA and PA Player of the Year award, and unlucky to fall just short on the Brownlow medal, most fans thinking that he should have won it. He would however earn his Brownlow the following year. On top of that, 𝗬💻 racked up the All-Australian Blazers, being a part of the side from 2009 to 2014. An unfortunate end to such an entertaining talent would occur, breaking 3 bones in his foot in round 1 of 2016, causing him to retire from football later that year. This, however, wouldn't change the fact that Dane 𝗏🗏 is one of the biggest draft steals of all time. So everyone, there is my top 10 biggest AFL draft steals since 2000. Thank you very much for tuning in into today's video. Feel free to leave a like if you wanted to enjoy, and also feel free to comment down below and let me know what you think of my top 10. Would you bring in another player? Of course, there was a handful of plays I had to miss out on. It's hard to squeeze 10 players into a top 10, so I'd love to hear your fellas' thoughts down below. So once again everyone, thank you very much for watching today's video. Of course, the AFL draft is slowly but surely creeping up on us, so I am wanting to get a Phantom draft out in the near future, so stay tuned on the channel. And until next time, I will talk to you later. See you later, fellas.